cut affectionately. I think he almost coined the phrase young pseudo. Everybody said now. Should we call this nigga young pseudo for 10 years? Man, so we want to see what we can take from the topic, so we ain't gonna give you a whole history or background, but basically what's going on right now is he done kicked this baby mama out the house. He got a white lady in the house, possibly multiple white ladies in the house.
Young Pharaoh.
Young Pharaoh.
Not the black woman is queen, Pharaoh.
I thought you was finna go another level. He loved to say the black woman is God.
Oh, God, I'm tripping.
Yeah, he kicked God out the house. He did that. God who bore multiple children from him. Cause he didn't deny that. He said she cried wolf, but he didn't deny it. And then there's a video where you can hear somebody in the background, like one of his homies said, but she wanted to be grown though. When he mentioned, she said, I put hands on her. He didn't say, man, you ain't hit that. He said, yeah, but she wanted to be grown though. So I think it's pretty much a given that he hit her. He showed his statue that he was mad about. She came through breaking his Egyptian statue. He said he believed in that statue, and she knew it was sentimental to him. But my thing is, the statue is just a statue. This black woman is God.
And I won't impose my will on y'all. But I am of the belief, based on facts. Not talking about blind faith. Based on facts, I am of the belief that the black woman is God. I bear witness to this every single day of my life. Yeah, you can clap it up. Don't be insecure. This black woman is God. Right out. Jesus had to be born by somebody.
And she was black.
This black woman is God.
Right out.
Jesus had to be born by somebody.
And she was black.
The black woman is God. I bear witness to this every single day of my life. Yeah, you can clap it up. Don't be insecure. This black woman is God. But I am of the belief, based on facts. Not talking about blind faith. Based on facts, I am of the belief that the black woman is God. I bear witness to this every single day of my life. Yeah, you can clap it up. Don't be insecure.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polite, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. The daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. The daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to.
I went ahead and he was like, well, why don't you, he's like, just send me your account information. He's like, just send me your bank info and I'll send you the money or whatever. I was like, so you're...
Bitch, if you send him your goddamn bank info after he already done scammed you once, you was a goddamn fool.
That none of these children had enough sense in their mind to go tell their parent that this isn't right. I've been touched sexually, I've been sexually abused. Not one child out of all these children. It could have stopped so long ago if just one child.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Recha HaKodash. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors also to you, brethren, you followers of the faith, okay? Even you few sisters that believe, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, the Spirit just hopped on me to go into these guys once again with their pseudo doctrines and scholarships and all the confusion. The Lord said he's not an author of confusion. So I don't understand how Israelites want to sit in a table with these guys. You know, you can't drink at the cup of the Lord's table and the table of devils. these black conscious guys are here to bring you nothing but confusion. Now, this young Pharaoh, he has figured out, I guess he's not pushing the black woman as God anymore, right? It's because of you guys that teach that doctrine that give Eve, our women, an excuse in a manner to behave like that. It's like taking children that's in a carnival loaded with junk food and tell them they're the greatest children on the planet to keep doing what you're doing. There's no order. There's no fear, right? Just wild-mannered behavior. Not to mention in a society that pushes the Queen of Heaven. So, if you were in some form of power and you decided to say that, well, maybe they would still have some respect for you, but you're not in power. And it's because you're not in power, you're actually siding with that false propaganda that the elites are pushing, right, to have Eve in control. So when you push that narrative, what's happening is you're making or creating an out of control people. I'm just saying it the best way I can say it. You're helping Eve, to create or continue, to commit wickedness. How are you in a society that says you can do whatever it is you want to do, whenever it is you want to do, and you're funded to do it? So these guys are responsible for the destruction of our community. They're responsible to destroying the natural order that the Heavenly Father set up. And remember, the Most High allowed these guys to take the payoff, right? And this is what we talk about the black conscious. Black conscious community really was funded by the white community. This guy, Richard Humphreys, he's the one, you can look him up. He was a Quaker. The black conscious community is nothing but a spinoff off the Quakers, right? It all started by white people. And why would they do that? So they can have funding. And as long as you got funding, you're putting funding in a organization, you can control it from the inside out. This is what happened to the BET. They were funded, and then the so-called black couple sold it to Viacom, which Viacom is owned by the Redstone family. Right? Well, the Redstone family owned it from the beginning. They're the ones that funded it. There's a lot of history on that. But I'm just making a point. Okay? Then you have this guy. This is why you got to watch these guys who try to come out and call us the rapists. And when you hear people do that and they solely stick to things like that, that's because that's in their mind. It's what they want to do. Now, I don't know if Polite fully went through with something like that. I don't know. He is actually the son or someone under his leader who was arrested for committing those kind of acts on children, so to speak. We're in a society now where you can't sleep with 14-year-old girls, man. And we don't teach to sleep with 14-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls. Unless you know the truth and you're 15, 16 years old. And there's young brothers that's in the truth that know about the truth. That's a different story. Still, you got to follow the laws of the society. And a woman doesn't have the mind. The young women today are girls, man. They don't have the mindset of a older woman. But these guys, the main guys that call us rapists and say all these things, they're the ones doing it. With one of his own women he was dealing with, which was wicked. You're messing with the woman and you go take her daughter. Right? Another example is this guy, Chris Hansen. Now, Chris Hansen was this guy who went to catch a predator. Okay? He's been officially charged with bank theft, right? Bad checks, cheating on his wife, which nothing is really wrong with that. But he set up shows on catching husbands, right? And catching partners cheating on one another. You know what the government do when they want to catch somebody? They hire somebody that's portraying that role. That's how they catch you. They did that with gunmen and outlaws. They hired an outlaw or whatever, to be on the team to catch other outlaws. That's just what it is. 1 Corinthians 3:19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. This black conscious community is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. This is why young Pharaoh, with the black woman as God, has been taken by the God. This is why Brother Polite is taken by the God, right? This is why all of them eventually is going to be taken by these gods that they're set up, right? Those gods will never fully respect you because you're not in power. So why push them on that level? But remember, this goes back to Jeremiah, going back to Babylon. When Jeremiah, the 44th chapter, when he said, we will do nothing but worship the Queen of Heaven. We will make cakes under her. We will follow her because we have nothing wrong when we follow the Queen of Heaven. You read Jeremiah 44. This is what it is. Again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain, right? These motivational speakers, these preachers, right? These are all set up going back to slavery, man. You could do the research on that. That's where the black motivational speaker came from. Because once we converted to these false doctrines and false Christianity, and it wasn't just, we could say we was converted to Christianity, but we was converting to atheism, we was converting to Islam, we was converting to Mormonism, right? We was converting to several other doctrines, many doctrines that was so-called wise of this world, man. So anyway, that's why the Lord got it in a trick bag where it seems like to these people that this is just another doctrine. That's why this book of Romans says in the last chapter, I believe, maybe the second chapter or something like that, by good words. Well, let me get that real quick. Because I know it's in Romans, because this is what's happening to these jakes. Let's go here to Romans, I think it's 16, 15, 16, 18. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua, says here Jesus Christ, by their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches, deceive the hearts of the simple. Now you had this lady on there who was posing to be his wife. I didn't get all into that video. He had women set up acting as their wives, as his wives, right? Faking it all out. And they was all bringing forth a hustle. I don't even know if all those wives were his wives now. Maybe a couple of them was, maybe they wasn't. But this guy is definitely set up. This Brother Polite, man. I believe wholeheartedly this guy is set up because it's a whole lot that's coming out on him, right? But that's the mindset of Jake. And that's why the Lord is bringing judgment back on them. See, this is all, you don't know if he's Nawapian. He calls himself the New Covenant. He even admitted he hijacked doctrines. So he gets stuff from GMS. He got stuff from ISBK. He created the New Covenant, Nuwapian, right? The Egypt, whatever, Egyptology, Pan-Africanism. This man is loaded with demons and doctrines. Because that's all these false doctrines are, is demonic. Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, right? After the tradition of men and the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushua, right? Philosophy. Let me look that up real quick, which we pretty much know, but I want to get the straight up definition that says here, right? So this is Colossians 2:8. Philosophy is G5385. It says,
Strong's G5385. Philosophia.
Philosophia. Okay, means to love of wisdom, used either in zeal or for skill, or skill in any art or of science, any branch of knowledge, right? Used once in the New Testament of the theology, or rather theosophy, of certain Jewish Christian ascetic, which busied in itself with refined speculative, right? Speculative, you mean to speculate, inquiries into the nature and classes of angels, into the rituals of the Mosaic law and the regulation of Jewish tradition respecting practical life, right? So let's go here. Let's go to another one. See what it says here. So you got a lot of guys with these groups that got a lot of these false philosophies. A learning exclusive or technical precepts and practical art. The science and liberal arts exclusive of medicine, law, theology, ethics. So it's got so many different definitions here. Theory. So you know this word philosophy can mean a lot of things. So let's go back to Colossians. Lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceits, right? So you have these false philosophies of vanity, after the tradition of men, right? And the rudiments of the world. Okay, so that's that black woman is God. You know, and then when these black gods are not held accountable and these black gods get to run rampant, right? It's because of you Jakes. You told them. You told them they could do whatever they want. They could be whatever they want. They would. Another thing they say, the womb man. That's when you go into that. It's not even the real word, right? The womb man. This is these doctrines and these philosophies, right? It was male and female, feminine male. That's what it was. A feminine male. A woman is a feminine man, feminine male, right? The opposite of male. Right, which we know what woman means. So the word woman means servant. So how the heck are you a servant, but you're a God? But this is the doctrine that they're pushing and bringing much confusion, you know, to the people. Psalms 73:8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully, highly, right? They speak wickedly concerning oppression. Black woman is God. Can you imagine a people that have total control over your life, right? That people that can call the police, right? They can call the court system that is funded and set up, and you tell them that they're a power over you. You see what that does? It destroys everything. It destroys the very fabric of order. Because now, these gods believe that they're the almighty powerful. And there's nothing in their way. Although in their spirit, they're better off, and they know they're better off being led. Right? Being led, and you having some form of order and focus. So really, when they're left unattended and not really being led, you see what happens. But these guys, they're so slick. They're pushing that ideology of woman God, so the gods can come to them, right? And they can have some advantage. But what that does to the because they're, even though they're doing that, the gods are looking up to them as someone special because they're pushing this narrative. But then the people under them and everybody that's listening who go home and into your home and they hear this, your God is going to look at you and say, well, you're not Brother Polite. You're not young Pharaoh. You're not Sayonetta. Right? So they don't have no respect for you. But anyway, I just wanted to do this video to show the hypocrisy and the sickness of what these guys are doing. And what that is really doing is destroying the so-called black community, which we know the Most High is doing it anyway. But, you know, for us that's in the truth and you waking up to the truth, this is why it's very important to stay out of that black conscience madness, right? You can see that these guys are nothing but hypocrites. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.